Hello, one and all, and welcome to the final sniper rifle gun workshop. Today, the last one on our list to cover is America's Rytec AMR. This semi-auto sniper rifle fires the 50 BMG round at a relatively fast rate of 200 rounds per minute, just narrowly beating out the Dragunov for the fastest firing sniper in the game. As with all sniper rifles, the Rytec is capable of getting a one-shot kill to the torso, except for the lower torso at its furthest damage range, which is over 70 meters. Not something you'll have to worry about in standard multiplayer. The biggest downsides to this weapon is, despite its quick rate of fire, this weapon has awful mobility. Its ADS speed is the slowest in the entire game. Its hipfire is the worst in the entire game. Its movement speed value is only barely beat out by some light machine guns as the slowest in the game. Luckily, these downsides are fairly easily managed by a large number of speed increasing attachments that can make this semi-auto sniper fairly quick. Recoil is basically straight vertical, so it isn't that hard to compensate for. Personally, I hate this weapon. I don't like the weird speed of it being that it can be built fairly fast and has a good fire rate, but it just feels weird to handle to me. That, and I hate when people sit in Airport Tower with their thermite Rytecs and just cover the entire surrounding area. Those people. Ugh, those people. Anyway, despite what I think of the weapon, I'm going to give you two great builds for this gun for two very different purposes. So strap in, because here we go. For those matches where you feel like punishing yourself in standard multiplayer, the Thumper is here to hopefully make those matches with the Rytec that much easier. We start off with the FTAC 448mm Dictator Barrel, the Rytec Short Barrel, to boost ADS and movement speed at the cost of recoil control and range. Next, the TAC Laser is used to boost our ADS speed even further while also stabilizing our aim. The VLK 3x optic is just the best mid-range optic for this gun, as it removes the scope glint and reduces recoil slightly. Sleight of hand is next used for this weapon, as it's fairly spammy, so you'll be running out of ammo fairly often. And oddly enough, this build is rounded off with the rubberized grip tape to further reduce our vertical recoil. Before I developed the Thumper, I was trying a bunch of different attachment combos on this gun. I was still primarily focused on standard multiplayer at the time, so I would definitely struggle with this weapon. Once I decided to just say screw it and go full speed build, I was able to have a much better time with this gun. The Dictator Barrel provides a huge ADS speed increase with a decent movement speed increase as well. The recoil isn't too badly increased, but what is most harmed in this regard is range. With this build, your range is reduced by about 20%, so our new maximum damage range is roughly 56 meters, which is a pretty heavy reduction to range. This also increases bullet drop by quite a bit, so keep that in mind for longer range fighting. The TAC Laser and VLK sights are great for even further boosting this build's ADS speed, while Sleight of Hand increases our honestly pretty poor reload speed. The only non-speed enhancing attachment on here is the rubberized grip tape. While I don't typically use this attachment, I felt that with the short barrel, this weapon could use something speedy to help mitigate the increased recoil just a little bit. The Thumper is a good choice for standard multiplayer. It's a great weapon for ground war. Honestly, that's its ideal game mode. And I really wouldn't take this into Warzone, as the range is too nerfed for this to be a great sniper rifle. If you want to fight people and vehicles in ground war with the same weapon, then look no further than my Tank Hunter build for the Rytec. We start off in the barrel section with the FTAC 7 straight barrel to greatly boost our range and bullet velocity, as well as reduce our vertical recoil, all at the cost of a decent amount of mobility. Next, the TAC Laser is used to compensate for the worsened handling from the long barrel. The Stavel TAC Wrap stock is next to improve ADS speed and help out the TAC Laser. Sleight of Hand is used again, since this is such a spam cannon and the base reload is pretty terrible. And this build is rounded off by the 25x59mm thermite rounds. Despite the slowness associated with this build, this is definitely my favorite way to run the Rytec. The Tank Hunter makes use of its unique thermite ammunition in order to not only guarantee a one-shot kill to any enemy in core multiplayer, but it also does considerable damage to ground vehicles and some kill streaks as well. But I'll get into that in a little bit. The long barrel for this weapon severely slows down the gun's ADS speed, but offers a fantastic 35% range increase while also boosting bullet velocity and cutting bullet drop. The tack laser and the Stavel tack wrap work well together to mitigate the downsides of using the long barrel, as well as the ADS speed penalty from running the thermite rounds. It is stated that the thermite rounds have a lower bullet velocity than the regular 50 BMG rounds, and normally this is in fact the case. However, combining those with the long barrel, and they actually fly faster than the regular BMG rounds. This is solely because the long barrel basically has a 50% increase in bullet velocity, while the thermite rounds only have a 25% decrease in bullet velocity, meaning that our net bullet velocity with these attachments is plus 25%, so not too bad there. Now for the thermite rounds' effectiveness against vehicles. When it comes to taking out kill streaks and vehicles, the thermite rounds offered here have mixed results. You can 1-tap a UAV with these. You can 2-tap a personal radar or a quad bike, 3-tap a counter UAV or a tac rover, and the number of shots just keeps scaling up for the ground vehicles. You can honestly take out an IAV in ground war just by pumping 5 shots into it and double thermiting it by running shrapnel. This is an automatic disabling for that vehicle, so this build can serve as a great support role, as well as just being useful for killing infantry. Sorry I got a little long-winded there. The Tank Hunter is great in ground war. I assume it works fine in Warzone, but I'm not someone who uses this gun there. This build will be absolutely atrocious for standard multiplayer, so avoid using it in those modes. So after all that, what do I think of the Rytec? It's basically the Grau and the Kar 98 of sniper rifles. I'm just not a fan. Even if it works well in a number of situations, the weapon just feels wrong in my hands. The Thumper is a good choice for mid-range ground war engagements, and it's workable in standard multiplayer as well. The Tank Hunter is strictly for ground war and Warzone usage, although I highly discourage the latter. What do you guys think of the Rytec? Do you love it or hate it? Were my builds any good? Let me know down below. You've been a great audience. I love making these videos for you guys, so you all deserve the best, and I hope you're all happy and healthy. This has been your host, Doodleman149, and I will see you later.